Then if you open the clips, you will see the thumbnails of each light layer. What we need is the adjustment clip though, for now, to select it and make it active.
Okay. So I'm going to follow along. These are all of our clips. Adjustment clip, we're in the nodes. Here's what we got. Perfect.
This one.
Right.
What I will do now is rename this node to linear to log, as it's the first color measurement operation that we'll do.
Okay. Rename. I just want
to What I will do now is rename this node to linear to log, as it's the
I'll node label it, you piece of shit. Just call it rename.
first color measurement operation that we'll do. Let's make some space. Yeah, so we're gonna do color management with the help of the CST, or color space transform effect.
We remember that. Effects, color space transform, drag it and drop it on. Perfect.
The XR encoding is Rec 709 color space.
Rec 709.
Linear gamma.
Linear. Rec 709. Linear. Where the... Linear.
And I'm going to convert it to DaVinci wide gamut color space.
DaVinci wide gambit. Okay. Can I just type? No, of course not. Okay. Shit, this is gonna be harder to find then. DaVinci wide color gambit. There it is.
Which is a nice wide color space. And DaVinci intermediate gamma.
And DaVinci intermediate. Of course.
The tone mapping can be switched off because we don't need it yet. And everything else left at its default value.
Okay, so we're just going to turn off tone mapping, which I don't know what that means.
If you're not sure what is color space and logarithmic and what does it all mean, we have a video about that which I recommend watching.
Oh yeah, we
For
watched
now,
that.
let's just say that we take the color space of our raw XRs and convert it into a working color space that DaVinci Resolve actually understands and knows how to apply the color grading tools and so on.
Okay, so this I do remember. This was the explanation of why you're doing EXRs and you're doing in DaVinci versus Blender. So Blender tries to do this for you. If you do the color profile of like high contrast, logarithm, whatever, like the color transform you have in Blender, this is essentially you're doing it instead of having Blender do it for you, you're manually doing it in DaVinci, but you have a lot more control when you set up like the past like 4 minutes of him actually just adding a color transform, setting up the color profile gives you so much more control versus Blender kind of baking it like easy mode versus setting it up yourself and having way more control. That's what it is. So it's helpful to know like you get really close. Blender does a good job about getting it close, but you don't have as much control, I guess. So all this is like prep. So it's quick. And as you can see in the video, we're barely into the video. So. But that's an explanation of, I think, what that all means.
That's what we do with this color operation in a nutshell.
Oh.
Having converted it to the working log color space, now we need to add one more character node from the right-click menu. It will be our log to display conversion. Something similar in function to AGX of Filmic, this type of view transform.
Okay. So we right click, add a corrector node, right? Add node. No. What's happening? What was it? Go ahead. Shit. Go back.
It will be our
add a node corrector. Okay. Add a node. Add a node. So as you can see, oh, never mind. I clicked on it. Okay, if you right click on the thing, it doesn't work, but if you don't right click on it, you can add node corrector and then put it, yeah, okay, cool. God damn it, man. Add node corrector.
Log to display conversion. Something
And then
similar
we'll rename it
function to AGX of filmic, this type of view transform.
To log display, so label log to display.
I will use the color space transform again, but this time.
Okay, so now we're doing color space again. God damn it.
Let me
I'll
check
get used to it.
outputs. Okay, this time we convert from the DaVinci wide gamut and DaVinci intermediate input.
So, Jesus Christ. Okay, so we converted 709 into wide gambit and linear into intermediate. So now we're going to take the outputs of this, which is wide gambit and intermediate. So we're going to put that here. Why? Can I type to gambit? I don't know. So we're going to do wide gambit, color space, wide gambit, and then intermediate for input. Intermediate. Okay. And then what's our...
To Rec 709 color space.
What the fuck? Why are we going back?
2.2 or 2.4, depending on the type of display that we target. I will go with 2.4. Okay,
Okay, now I'm confused. Now I have no idea why we did that in the first place. I keep tabbing back to the wrong thing. Okay, so now we're going back. We're back to 709 and then 2. So we did linear, Rec 709 linear to wide gambit and intermediate, and now we go wide gambit, intermediate, back to 709. Can I just type in? He looks like he's doing it. So I feel like there's a way you can type in Rec 709 and then into Gamma 2.4. Sure. Now I'm completely lost. I don't know why we just flip-flopped there.
this time I will leave the tone mapping on.
Okay, tone mapping stays on to DaVinci.
Just apply forward audio checkbox on as well.
Okay. Sure.
Again, don't let
Do I have that? Yeah, okay.
these technicalities demotivate you if these terms sound unfamiliar to you.
Yeah, they mean nothing.
Don't feel bad about simply copying the settings at this point.
Thank you.
Basically, the way I
do feel
set it
better.
all up is to make it look roughly like AGX, and that's it. And to make
Okay.
it properly accept color grading later on.
Okay.
As I've said, feel free to copy and paste these settings. Actually, we
That's what we're
explore this
doing.
in much more detail in the second video from this series, I believe. And basically, I recommend watching all the previous videos from this series, if you feel that the reason why we convert one color space to another sounds unclear.
Okay, now I feel bad because we did watch those videos, and it's still very unclear. So we might have to go back and rewatch that.
Anyway, with these color space transforms, what we have just created is a basic setup for properly rendering EXRs in Resolve, and preparing them for color grading.
Okay.
Now, if we did everything right, something magical should have happened. Now we should be able to turn these light layers on and off and have it rendered properly in Resolve. I would even say rendered physically correctly in some way, as it will be no different, and think about it, no different from turning the light collections on and off in Blender. It will be just as, yeah, I would say physically correct, because light is additive in reality, so it kind of recreates how it fundamentally works in some way. But guess what? Unlike rendering it in Blender, now we can work with these light layers directly in Resolve, and in real time even, and can start tweaking things in real time.
Gotcha.
If you didn't know it can work like that in Resolve, and you feel you've already got some value out of this video, feel free to visit our Gumroad page with this series and leave us a tip. A coffee or 2 or 5 or 12, in the morning helps us to create videos like that.
Hell yeah. Definitely done it. Okay. I'm gonna stop there because this took us way too long. But again, definitely find this course. Type in Blender to Resolve freemium course. Gumroad, it's a free course. Donate if you can. If you can't, don't worry. It's still an amazing course. But yeah, so at least we're back on track. We can actually follow along. We have the files. It took me way too long to set all of that up, but yeah. So from my understanding, I don't really know. I tried to describe it with this node, but then we added this that just converted it back. Besides Gamma 2.4. And we did watch that video, and I have no idea what he's talking about. So we might have to go back and watch it again. But at least in the meantime, we have... It took us an hour to get 12 minutes into it, so we have plenty of work to do. But we have the files at least, which is... Thank God. Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do is start... well, we'll leave it at that. Yeah,